Hello, friends. The game of golf goes back hundreds of years, possibly over 500. There's some dispute about whether it started in Scotland because there was a game played on ice with a ball and an instrument that looks awfully like a golf club in Holland called kolven, the sound of which is, I think, interestingly similar to the word golf. But generally, the game in the form in which it's played now originated on the coast of Scotland. And it's partly to do with a trick of the topography. There's a narrow-ish strip of land that runs around the coast of Scotland and, in fact, other parts of the United Kingdom where you can't grow any crops. The soil is very sandy and not valuable in that regard. So it was used for grazing sheep and cattle. And it would just run for miles down the coastline. And it was called the linkland long before the term golf links was used. And so, being a narrow strip of land, the golfers would tee off and go down the coast and keep going. And so, although it wasn't chosen to be 18 holes until the end or the latter part of the 19th century, however many holes they had, they would then get to the end of that strip of land and then start going back. And in fact, many of the greens in Scotland, particularly, for instance, at St Andrews, are shared. They're huge and they've got two flags in them, different colors, and there are rules about who goes first so you don't kill each other. And so they have shared greens. So 18 holes of golf at St Andrews, but only 11 greens, interestingly. So you go out along the coast and come back in, and that's still referenced today on the scorecards. The front nine is called out and the back nine is called in. And the principal rule of golf is that you play the ball as it lies. There's no improving. You can't nudge it into a better lie. You can't bend or rip up grass to get it out of your way. And along the coast of Scotland was how they used to travel from one coastal town to the other in carts. And of course, if it was wet, which it was frequently there, it would leave ruts. And if you have to hit it wherever it goes, if your ball goes in a rut, you've got to hit it out. So in the second half of the 19th century, when they started making metal-headed clubs, they came up with a club called the Rut Iron. And if you notice, the head is shorter but deeper, and it actually fits down into the ruts and allows you to hit the ball out and carry on down the coast. So, out of reference for that, I named my pub the Trout and Niblick, because the other thing I learned to do in Scotland, to my great pleasure, was to fly fish, and that's my original rod from when I was 15. So lovely, Trout and Niblick.